Your brain is sabotaging you right now. At this exact moment, while you're listening to me, it's firing thousands of automatic commands that you don't even notice. Breathe, blink, and repeat that destructive habit you swore you'd quit. You know what's worse? You think you have control. You think it's just about wanting it bad enough or having discipline. Bullshit. You're a slave to neural circuits that were programmed years ago, and every time you try to fight them with willpower, you've already lost before you even started. But what if I told you there's a technique so powerful, so subversive, that instead of fighting your worst habits, you'll use them as weapons in your favor? A technique the Greeks used to conquer Troy, that hackers used to infiltrate systems, and that your brain will love because it won't even realize what's happening. Get ready, because in the next few minutes, you're gonna learn the Trojan Horse technique, and you'll never look at your bad habits the same way again. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But the philosopher emperor forgot to mention one cruel detail when it comes to habits. We don't have power over our mind, at least not the way we think. You know why? Because 95% of your daily behaviors are automatic, subconscious. You're literally a meat robot programmed by years of repetition. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Willpower is a joke when it comes to changing ingrained habits. Let me guess your story. You've tried quitting smoking with nicotine patches. You've deleted Instagram like 47 times. You've sworn you'd never eat fast food again, while hiding the McDonald's wrappers in the trash. And every damn time, you went back to the habit, sometimes worse than before. Why? Because you're fighting the wrong war, my friend. It's like trying to demolish a fortress with your bare hands. Meanwhile, there's a back door wide open that nobody's watching. Look, your brain has approximately 86 billion neurons. When you repeat a behavior multiple times, these neurons create a superhighway, like a neural freeway where the behavior flows on autopilot. Trying to destroy this highway with willpower is like trying to stop a moving train by jumping in front of it. Spoiler, the train always wins. But the Greeks were smarter than us. They spent 10 years trying to invade Troy by force. 10 years of failure, until Odysseus had a genius idea. What if, instead of fighting against Troy's defenses, we used them in our favor? The Trojan horse didn't destroy the city walls. It passed through the main gates, welcome with open arms, and that's exactly what we're gonna do with your bad habits. Instead of trying to destroy that neural superhighway, we're gonna put a detour on it, a detour so subtle, so clever, that your primitive brain won't even notice the hijacking happening. Charles Duhigg, in The Power of Habit, discovered something fascinating. Every habit has 3 components. The CUE, what triggers the behavior, the routine, the behavior itself, the reward, what your brain gets from it. Here's the kicker. It's almost impossible to eliminate a cue that already exists, but it's very easy to modify the routine that comes after it. Think about it like this. Your brain is like a GPS addicted to routes. When you grab your phone in the morning, it already knows the path: Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, guilt, and regret. The Trojan horse technique doesn't try to delete this route. It adds a toll booth in the middle of the road. I'm gonna give you real examples that'll blow your mind. Mike from Seattle woke up, and the first thing he did was check his phone. Sound familiar? He tried everything. Leaving the phone in another room, he'd go get it. Blocking apps, he'd uninstall them. Promises, he'd break them. Until he applied the Trojan horse. Every night, he placed a book on top of his phone. That's it. In the morning, the cue would fire normally. His hand would automatically reach for the phone. But now there was a toll. The book. First week, Mike would push the book aside, annoyed, and grab the phone. Second week, sometimes he'd flip through a page first. Third week, he started reading a paragraph. 2 months later, he was reading 10 pages every morning before touching his phone. The bad habit became the gateway to the good habit. Sarah from Denver ate chocolate every day at 3 p.m. Like clockwork. Instead of throwing away all the chocolate she'd already tried, already failed, she did something genius. She attached an apple to each chocolate bar, literally tied with a rubber band. Her brain still got the signal at 3 p.m., chocolate time. But now, to get to the chocolate. She had to go through the apple. Result, within 30 days, half the time she'd eat just the apple. The chocolate trigger itself had been hacked to include fruit. Now that you understand the concept, let's go ninja level. Sensory hijacking. Your bad habits usually involve immediate sensory pleasure. Use that as bait. Brutal example. David from Chicago smoked after coffee. Instead of quitting coffee, impossible, or cigarettes, tried 1,000 times. Here's what he did. He bought peppermint essential oil. Every time he finished his coffee, before lighting a cigarette, he'd put the oil under his nose and take 3 deep breaths. The strong mint smell started competing with the cigarette craving. Within 60 days, coffee triggered the desire to smell mint. The cigarette became optional. Then unnecessary. Progressive substitution. Your brain hates sudden changes, but doesn't notice 1% changes. James from Houston drank 6 cans of Coke a day. Instead of cutting everything, week 1, replaced 1 can with sparkling water and lime. Week 2, replaced the cans. Week 3, replaced 3 cans. The trigger, thirst, wanting something cold and fizzy, kept being satisfied. But the poison was being progressively diluted. The transition ritual transformed the path to the bad habit into an epic journey. Emma from Phoenix spent hours on TikTok before bed. Trojan Horse solution. She created a preparation ritual. Before opening TikTok, she'd write 3 things she was grateful for. Take 10 deep breaths. Set a 15-minute timer. Only then open the app. What happened? The ritual became more important than TikTok itself. Her brain started associating bedtime with gratitude and breathing, not endless scrolling. You know why this works when everything else fails? Because you're not fighting your nature, you're dancing with it. The Stoics call this amor fati, love your fate. Instead of hating your bad habits and punishing yourself for having them, you accept them and transform them into allies. It's mental jujitsu, using the opponent's strength against himself. Think about your most destructive habit right now, the one you're ashamed to admit. Feel the weight of it, the guilt, the frustration of trying to quit 1,000 times? Now imagine, what if this habit was actually the perfect vehicle for the change you want? It's such a deep paradigm shift that your ego will resist. No, I need to be strong. I need to defeat my demons. Nonsense. Strength is for amateurs. Professionals use intelligence. Enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty right now. Identify your Trojan horse. Take your worst habit, the one you do every single day. When exactly do you do it? What triggers the behavior? What reward does your brain seek? Design the detour. What positive micro habit can you glue to this behavior? It has to be stupidly small. 1-2 minutes max. It has to happen. Between the trigger and the bad habit, it has to be physically connected. Book on top of phone. Apple tied to chocolate. Execute without expectations. First week, just keep the detour in place. Don't need to do the good habit, just keep it available. Second week, do the micro habit. Sometimes, no pressure. Third week, watch the magic happen. Let me tell you about Marcus from Miami, a case that'll blow your mind. Marcus was addicted to porn, 3 to 4 times a day. He'd already tried NoFap, lasted 5 days. Blockers, always found a way around them. Therapy, helped but didn't solve it. He applied the Trojan horse in a genius way. Every time he felt the urge, before opening any site, he had to do 20 push-ups, drink a glass of cold water, and write on a piece of paper, "Why am I doing this? Sounds dumb." In the first month, Marcus did over 1,000 push-ups. But something magical happened. The sexual trigger started firing. The desire to exercise. His brain literally rewired the circuits. Today, 6 months later, Marcus has the body of his life and the compulsion practically gone. Or Jennifer from Boston's story. She ate compulsively at night instead of locking the fridge. She put post-its on every food item with questions. Will this bring me closer to my goals? How will I feel tomorrow? What would my future self say? First week, she'd rip off the post-its, annoyed, and eat anyway. Second week, sometimes she'd answer the questions. Third week, started making better choices. 3 months later, lost 26 pounds without dieting, just by asking questions. Now, crucial warning. The biggest mistake you can make is trying multiple Trojan horses at once. Your brain isn't stupid. If you try to hack 10 habits simultaneously, it'll notice the invasion and activate all defense systems. 1 habit at a time. Choose the most destructive, the one that embarrasses you most, the one that screws up your life the most, and use all your creativity to design the perfect Trojan horse. Remember, the Greeks took days building a single horse, but that horse conquered an entire city. Look, as Seneca said, every man is chained by his own vices. But what if the chains were actually ropes? What if you could use those same ropes to climb mountains? The Trojan horse technique isn't about destroying who you are. It's about using who you are as a springboard to who you can become. It's the ultimate application of modern stoicism, working with reality, not against it. Your bad habits aren't enemies. They're teachers in disguise, showing exactly where your leverage points for change are. So here's my challenge to you. In the next 7 days, I want you to choose one bad habit, design one Trojan horse, execute without judgment, and come back here to share the result. But warning, this technique is so powerful it can be addictive. You'll start seeing Trojan horses everywhere. You'll want to hack every aspect of your life. You'll become a habit architect, a behavioral engineer. And you know what's the best part? While everyone else is out there fighting impossible wars against themselves, you'll be playing 4D chess with your own brain and winning every single time. Let me tell you a final secret. The city of Troy didn't fall because of the horse. It fell because the Trojans chose to bring the horse inside. Your bad habits only have power over you because you choose to fight them the wrong way. Starting today, you have a new choice, a new weapon, a new way of thinking. Use it wisely, because in the end, the question isn't if you'll change your habits. The question is, will you keep being the Trojan fighting impossible wars? Or will you become the Greek building smart horses? The choice, my friend, has always been yours. Now you just have the right tools to make it. Until next time. And remember, your worst habits can become your greatest allies. You just need to know how to conquer them from the inside out. Look, I know what you're thinking right now. This sounds too simple, too good to be true. And you're right to be skeptical. You've been burned before. You've tried the miracle solutions that gurus sell for $997. But here's the difference. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to test it. Because the beauty of the Trojan horse technique is that you'll know if it works within 7 days. Not months, not years, days. And when it works, and it will, you'll realize something profound. The problem was never you. You were never weak. You were never broken. You were just using the wrong strategy. It's like, imagine you've been trying to open a door by pushing it for years. Pushing harder and harder. Bleeding your knuckles against it. Hating yourself for not being strong enough to break through. Then someone shows you the door opens by pulling. That's what this is. A simple shift that changes everything. But I need to be brutally honest with you about something else. This technique will work, but it'll also reveal something uncomfortable. It'll show you how many years you've wasted fighting yourself, how much energy you've burned on a war you could never win, how much pain you've caused yourself unnecessarily. And that realization, it might piss you off. Good, use that anger. Channel it into action. Because every day you delay is another day living as a slave to your habits, another day letting your potential rot, another day being less than you could be. And for what? Pride? Stubbornness? Fear of trying something new? Come on, you're smarter than that. You wouldn't be here, listening to this, if you weren't ready for change. If you weren't sick and tired of being sick and tired. So here's what's gonna happen. Tonight, before you go to bed, you're gonna pick your worst habit, the one that's been kicking your ass for years. You're gonna design your Trojan horse simple specific physical. Tomorrow morning, you're gonna deploy it. And in 7 days, you're gonna come back here and tell me how it went. Not because I need the validation, but because you need to see yourself win. You need to prove to yourself that change is possible, that you're not broken, that you've just been playing the wrong game. And when you do, when you finally taste that victory, something will shift inside you. You'll stop seeing yourself as someone who struggles with bad habits. You'll start seeing yourself as someone who engineers solutions. Big difference. one more thing before I let you go. Some of you are gonna watch this entire video and do nothing. You'll nod your head, think that's interesting, and go back to your Netflix binge. That's fine. Natural selection at work. But some of you, the smart ones, the hungry ones, the ones who are done playing small, you're gonna take action. And for you, life is about to get very, very interesting. Because once you master the Trojan Horse technique with one habit, you'll realize something mind-blowing. Every problem in your life can be Trojan horsed: procrastination, social anxiety, money problems, relationship issues. They all have triggers. They all have routines. They all can be hacked. You're not learning a technique. You're learning a new way to think. And that, my friend, is worth more than all the self-help books in the world. So what's it gonna be? Another year of the same struggles? The same failures? The same self-hatred? Or 7 days to prove you can change anything? Clock's ticking. Choice is yours. Always has been. Now you just can't pretend you don't know better. See you on the other side.